Welcome everybody to the Alternative Sports Show powered by Virgin Magazine. I'm Matthew Connell, joined as always, the big brother in the house, Andre Dixon is here with me. And today I'm so happy to say that we are joined by Ben Cajee. You would have seen him all over TV, whether it's BBC Sport, CBeebies, whatnot, and him alongside the Premier League have launched the Draw Together Challenge. Good sir, first off, thank you very much for joining us.
Hey, thanks for having me. It's nice to talk to you guys. I'm just sorry that my background isn't as exciting as yours. Like you Jordan 23 in the background. That looks so much better than
I've got. You can be on this Hall of Fame. I just got to get your jersey and we'll put you there. Don't worry.
Dre is the one that puts us all to shame when it comes to any guest. It doesn't matter what kind of presenter, athlete, or whatnot. Everyone just goes, "Hey, Dre, great background." So, Dre, you're doing something good there, buddy. I need the permission from my girlfriend to be allowed to do that in our house. But we're working on it. But thank you so much for spending your time with us today. Really exciting stuff happening, all over the sport world at the moment. And yourself, along with Premier League, have launched the Draw Together Challenge initiative. Tell us a little bit more about this and how did you get involved?
They kind of Premier League reached out and asked and said, this is something that we're thinking of doing. Would you be up for doing a little bit of filming for us and being involved in the initiative? And they obviously explained what it was about, which is basically giving young people an opportunity to talk about discrimination and things that they might experience at school, and then coming up with something creative to kind of combat that. And the big theme is allyship and kindness and standing up and challenging things, really, if you see something that's discriminatory at school or kind of in society. And so it was a cool project to be part of, and obviously such important themes anyway. And something that obviously I believe in, for one, but giving young people that kind of autonomy and treating them with respect to be able to deal with those kind of issues and allowing them to be creative with it, which is why the project's so cool, because they can literally do anything that they like. So they can design something, whether they draw something or paint something, and then come up with a pledge. That's a really cool bit in terms of they're going to come up with a pledge about what allyship means to them and how they're going to then kind of just contribute to society and do good stuff for their friends and colleagues and classmates. So I was like, yeah, I'm all for it. I'm more than happy to be involved.
And I think what's so fascinating with the way the world has been, I think we're in a learning process with understanding, and it's a generational thing, isn't it? Where there's been a lot of change, a lot of opinions, a lot of kind of you read all kinds of different things in the press with problems around diversity. And I think in this room between yourself, Ben, myself, and Dre, we're all from different backgrounds, so we've all in some way or another experienced some form of racism in one way or another. I don't know if you share the same thought. It seems like the best place to start to maybe re-educate or help educate people to, be more embracive of diversity is starting with our youth.
Yeah, definitely. I think education is key. And if you can start talking about those issues and have I don't really want to say a safe space, but an environment where people can talk about things in a respectful way to talk through issues. And I think that's really, really important, because you've touched on it there, that everyone's from different backgrounds and are interested in different things. And whether it's religion or cultural norms or whatever it might be, it's really interesting learning about the world and about other people that you might meet at things like this, but at school, and things that you don't know about. And the only way you're going to kind of educate yourself and other people around you is to kind of talk about those things. So yeah, I've spoken about this a lot, but I don't take it for granted in terms of that position, in terms of doing stuff on CBeebies and CBBC and Bite Size and other bits, because if we can use our platform as like a presenter to talk about important stuff and contribute positively, then that's something that I'd always want to be able to do. And it's nice, I love sport, and longer term, that's the kind of work that I want to do. You can't be jumping up and down like a bunny rabbit when you're 55, but you know what I mean? You can probably be still standing at a football pitch or being at Wembley or at Lord's or something talking about sport. So it's nice to be able to combine those things in terms of my love of sport, but working with young people, and that's quite a nice fit, I think.
Well, Ben, like, first of all, I have to thank you because in my house, I have small children, two that are 5 and under, and you equal quiet time and sanity time, so I can put you on and on my television, and literally they just like chilled, calm. I've told my daughter today that I'll be speaking to you, and so she told me to say hello, and she's a big fan of yours. So
that is very cute. Thank you. Say hi back. You say I'll wait.
I would.
That's really nice.
No, thank you. That's got me some serious cool points in this house, I must say.
But like looking down like a bunny rabbit for me, and then you'll have to send me.
Well, you save me having to do that sometimes. So it's I
have to wear the bunny ears normally as well, and that's just like next level.
You're saving a little bit of hair, the little tuft of hair that I have left in this house, honestly, definitely after this year. But like this campaign has actually brought together many worlds, yourselves, obviously BBC, Premier League. What does it mean to you for you to be involved personally? Like how I'd like to be able to get to what this actually it stands for you. Like what do you take from this?
Yeah, it's a few things really. I mean, it's cool to be asked. It's I hosted something the other week. I hope it's all right me saying this, but I hosted something for Stephen Lawrence Day, and I said at the time with that, it's hard to, it's probably, I don't know if it's the right word to use, but to feel that's an honor in a way to even be for. I was asked by the family to host that, and I remember, that was 1993, and I remember that being on the news about Stephen's death, and I remember, my mum and dad talking to me about. By that point, I was 6. I'd already experienced racism at school, and I remember my mum and dad sitting me down and talking to me about what that meant, like what happened and culturally and stuff. So to be asked to be involved in things is, like I say, kind of a privilege. And with something like this, Premier League's massive. I'm a massive football fan, big West Ham fan. I've filmed things at West Ham. I've filmed things before at Everton, and this was with Everton in the community. You kind of, I don't want to say you pinch yourself, but it's like, this is ace. Do you know what I mean? To be involved anyway. But then it's great to be involved in things that are, whether it's matches and interviewing players, all of that stuff, that's all good stuff. But then to be involved in something that links kind of issues and things where you hopefully are contributing positively to young people or teaching them about things. And like I said earlier, using that platform, that's really nice because anyone, it doesn't matter what you do, does it? You want to feel like you're kind of making a difference. And that doesn't matter when I was stacking shelves, when I worked at Marks and Spencer's or whatever after uni, when I couldn't get a job. Like, it's nice to help people out. If someone comes and goes, do you know where the biscuits are? And you go, yes, I do. Like, you know what I mean? But everyone, you want to feel like you're doing something and it's a sense of achievement. If you're a painter and decorator and you get to the end of the room, that's like really satisfying, right? You've finished something. So I think you can relate that to any job. When I had a paper round when I was 13, like, I need to deliver these papers. People want the papers. And when I've done it, and I've done a decent job with that. So to know that, hopefully it's making a difference, and that people go, oh, thanks for, you can't control what people think about you. Some people might be like, oh mate, please shut up. But equally, if it permeates somewhere and makes a difference to someone, then that's pretty cool.
It's nice to know that you after all this success, you still are are grounded by and excited by the little things that you get to do. Like, you're just going into the West Ham ground, you must be like ecstatic about that as a fan. But and also it's nice to know that you also were a person who had to stack shelves like I had to with my first job at Halfords. And look at me now, everyone. Look at me and Ben now. You can start from where you are. And I remember someone dusting off the wiping the dust off with a finger, saying it's not clean enough. Now look at us, Ben. We're up there.
You got to work. You got to put in the graft. Like I say, I had a paper round. I did pot washing. I got £3.35 an hour. It's hard work, man. It's much harder than dressing up in costumes in a TV studio.
Yeah, we should.
I need that pan now with some choice fruity language thrown in as well. Like, I've always wanted to kind of work hard and not settle and think there's other stuff I want to do. But yeah, then you've got to be grateful and appreciative for everything, because no experience is wasted anyway. But yeah, the first time I got to film properly at West Ham, I got to interview Mark Noble, and I did say to him, I was like, I'm gonna have to try really hard not to fanboy too much. And then after,
oh my god,
yeah, it was massive for me. And then afterwards, he was like, because someone said, he's usually on CBeebies, right? And he went, wow, this is a bit different. And I said, yeah, I'm doing more sports stuff. And at the end, we had a photo, and I said, I'm gonna do this. And he went, mate, you do whatever you want. Nice.
Well, you're obviously you just mentioned you're a West Ham fan. I'm sitting here jealous because I'm a Liverpool fan, and you've got our spot in Champions League at the moment, and it's not fair, and I'm quite resentful. But we're friends, so I'm gonna.
The thing is with that, right? How many trophies have you won in the last? Well, I'm 34, and we've never won a trophy in my lifetime. So I'm still getting over the fact you beat us in the 2006 FA Cup final.
We jarred the last minute, yeah. No, sorry, you know what? I'm glad I can actually speak about something positive here, because Matt has been ragging on me the whole time, because when we first started...
I'm a Portsmouth fan, so at least we've had an FA Cup as well to celebrate 2008. Yeah, exactly. So
I was in. I went to uni in Cardiff. So 2006 was the year before I went to uni, but my mate was there. So I went. I was in the city for the day. Didn't get a ticket for the cup final, but the West Ham team bus went past. So I'm there, my West Ham shirt, singing "I'm Forever Blowing Bubbles," and they had Marlon Hare, Teddy Sheringham, and those guys with the old school handheld cameras.
Yeah.
So probably, if they've still got them, there's probably me there. But then 2008, we watched that final down at Cardiff Bay on the big screen when Pompey won.
You actually experienced that FA Cup better than me, because at that time I was working at the Marriott Hotel down near Portsmouth. So I was working on a wedding, and the ceremony, luckily, they were Portsmouth fans, so they planned all the breaks for the wedding and the ceremony based around the first half and the second half. It was incredible.
Nice.
So yeah, we can all relate the pain, anguish, the chasing trophies, having these jobs. Like we've seen, and especially Dre, I feel sorry for you, bro. Being a Liverpool fan right now, it's crazy to say that it's probably worse to be a Liverpool fan than a Portsmouth and a West Ham fan.
Honestly, Chelsea.
It is not what you want.
We're in pain. We're suffering.
No, I'm not
having it. So
it's really tough being a Man United fan. No, it isn't. No, it's what are you talking about? You've got the best players in the world. You can buy anyone you want, pretty much. You're going to finish in the top 4, probably. And how many trophies have you won in my lifetime? 20 odd.
There's still time, Ben. There's still time for West Ham.
It's true. It's true. Look, see,
people can complain if they're supporting Barnet and go, "That's hard. That's difficult, right?" That's if you're an Oldham fan, you can complain. If you're a Liverpool fan, I'm not having it. No.
You know what? You sit here, and you're sitting Target, and there was 1 minute you're celebrating with Chelsea Grimes, harassing Matt, we're singing songs and enjoying our lives, and now we have that. Now it's got to the point where I can't even put my shirt in my Hall of Fame because of the atrocity that we've got. But you're a West Ham fan, as you've been slapping in my face every 2 seconds. What's it like being what's it like being like more involved with the BBC Sport? And what is your favorite pieces of sport content that you've been a part of so far? What springs to mind?
Oh, that's hard. I got to, so it wasn't for TV, but I got to host some games at the Cricket World Cup in 2019. That was ace. Just to be like in that environment. Anyway, is cool. It's great just to be a fan at those kind of events, but to be able to host it, it's not about being on the big screen or anything. That stuff doesn't. I'm not bothered about like seeing myself on TV in an ego way or whatever, but it's just a cool responsibility to kind of entertain and inform the fans who are there. And I got to do some cool stuff like hang out with Jack Callis, not for very long, but like you're speaking to these people who you've watched on TV and kind of looked up to as being heroes of the sport. And then to get like 5 minutes with them, interviewing them, being like, I'm on the same stage on a big screen with these people who you've looked up to as is pretty cool. He also, it was me and a guy called Michael presenting, and then Jack Callis, and they're both like well over 6 foot and big, and there's me 5'9" and like skinny. It was like two dads had taken their son out for the day. That's what I looked like. Yeah, that was great. Doing the match of the day community features is always really exciting, because it goes back to what we were talking about earlier in terms of combining football and sport, but then football clubs giving back to the community. So they're fun to do, and they're more journalistic because often you produce those. So you're kind of thinking about the script and the story arc and the shot types and how it's going to come together in the edit. But then it's still pinch me moments when Gary Lineker goes, Ben Cajee went to do this. And I'm like, Gary Lineker knows how to say my name. Like
that's amazing.
That's quality.
That's still
thanks,
cool.
Gary. Back to you.
Like
back to you.
On one of the camera ops, he a guy called Russ, loads of the camera operators work across all kinds of different things in children's and sport. On one of those days, had the scripts, and Gary wrote me a really nice message and signed it. And then I turned up, and Russ was like, "I got this for you," and I was like, "No way!" So yeah, that's pretty cool.
Sport is such a rewarding moment to work in. We cannot express enough how lucky we are as a channel, the different kind of presenters, personalities, athletes that we've spoken to, but also working in the sport as a, like, with Dre, we've worked at Formula One together at Silverstone. I've been so lucky to witness Champions League finals and UFC pay-per-view events. But on the flip side, as I think we've all figured out here, we're all massive sport fans. So on the flip to that last question, what springs to mind as a top sporting moment that you've enjoyed or witnessed as a fan?
That's a really hard question. It's a really good question. That's hard. If it was West Ham, I'd say I went to the 2005 playoff final, and we were sat in the Preston end because we couldn't get tickets in the West Ham end, and Bobby Zamora scored and we won 1-0. That was great. But I went to quite a few events during the Olympics. So we were there for Super Saturday, but not in the evening. We were there earlier in the day. That was amazing. Just the whole atmosphere is so celebratory and really cool. But might say there were a couple of cricket bits that are amazing. So we saw in 90, I want to say it was like 96-ish. Dad took me, so I'd have been like 9 or something. We went to see Warwickshire, and we're Warwickshire fans. And Sean Pollock took 4 wickets and 4 balls. That was amazing. And I saw Sachin Tendulkar the same summer, I think, during Euro 96, because England were playing Switzerland. Alan Shearer scored. It was 1-1. They showed the goal on the big screen, but Sachin Tendulkar got 100. I think it was at Edgbaston for India against England. And that's one of those things that you can be like, I don't really remember it that well, but I remember him. I remember when he got his 100 and everyone was like clapping, and he put his bat up, and it's 25 years ago or whatever. So yeah, I had a few.
It's pretty huge. I mean, I can on a West Ham related note, I could probably say one of my least favorite football memories was in a away end for Portsmouth, watching play West Ham, of course. God, this was years ago. We lost 4-3. Matty Taylor, who used to play for us, was playing for you. Scored a free kick at our end. Couldn't believe it. I was like, I hate this place. Don't like it. Don't like East London. Not a big fan.
2011-12 season.
I don't know if either we were both at the time in the Championship then, or we were both slugging it out near the bottom ends of the Premier League. So it was around that rough time.
Yeah.
But yeah, but what a beautiful ground! It breaks my heart that that ground was incredible. And I lived right next to the Olympic Stadium. I used to live by there, so I used to use that as my running track. And I was like, it's just not the same. I'm fearful. If Fratton Park ever needs to get the upgrade, I'm a bit worried. But we can hold on. We can hold on onto that for now. But Ben, as we draw to a near close, we do a little segment with all our guests on the show called recommendations. So we love to know, more about you away from the screen and whatnot. So we design these questions to see what you're into. So 3 topics. I'll kick it off. Do you have a favorite TV show, series, maybe docu-series that you're watching at the moment that we should be getting into if we're not already?
So I'm rewatching The West Wing, which is my favorite TV show ever. So this is the 3rd time I've done it. I watched it for the first time 10, 11 years ago. And the writing in it is so good, and the acting as well. So I love The West Wing, but it is I don't want to say it's heavy, but it's obviously quite serious as a drama.
Mm.
But something that just makes me smile is Brooklyn Nine-Nine.
What a fun series, yeah.
I just watch it and smile like an idiot the whole way through. Like,
I just want to be in the room with Terry Crews. What a guy.
Yeah, I mean, it's absolutely stacked as well. Terry loves yogurt. But yeah, it's a great show.
So Ben, what is your, I'm always looking for like new music to listen to, and I'm quite nosy and I want to know what type of music you listen to. So what is your like favorite artist on repeat on your playlist at the moment?
Do you know what? Since I was about 13, I love the Foo Fighters. I listen to
Yeah, you know what? This is so good. There's been a theme recently. We just spoke to Emma Kimalainen from W Series, and she her answer was Rage Against the Machine.
Okay, nice.
And so we've kept this rock theme back to back. Foo Fighters. Why Foo Fighters? Have you had the pleasure of witnessing Dave Grohl do his thing live and all that good stuff?
Yeah, I've been really lucky. So I've seen him quite a few times, and the best Foos gigs I've been to are the like smaller ones. So I saw them for the first time at Reading in 2002, and they headlined. So I was 15, and the last song so they played Everlong as the encore, and then there was a massive fireworks display, and that was unreal.
Stunning.
I saw them in Cardiff, and it was it's not small, the arena in Cardiff, but it felt really intimate. And they used to have, during that tour, they'd have the stage, and then they had a strip that went right down the middle.
Oh yeah.
He came down, and I've got this picture. He did that with his hair, and like we got Dave Grohl's sweat on us, which I'm not really into, but that's how close we were. Do you know what I mean? Super close. And I took this photo, and I got it blown up and put on canvas, and I've actually got it in my spare room. Wow. So that was cool. I saw them at Wembley and at Milton Keynes Bowl, and both of those were amazing. But those venues are so big.
I saw Green Day at MK Bowl. It's huge. It's weird. It's just huge.
Watching on TV though, isn't it? Do you know what I mean? Because you're so far away from it. Whereas I like it when it's more intimate. So but I like so many different types of music. So I love jumping up and down to like Jimmy Eat World and stuff like that. But then
hey, you know what? That's my first ever gig, Jimmy Eat World.
No
first
way.
I went to, during the that's during the Futures tour.
Yeah,
Portsmouth Pyramids. What?
Yes, 23 when they played.
Did we just become best friends? It's like a step levels over here.
Jimmy, genuinely, I went to see Jimmy Eat World in Bristol once, and it's one of the best gigs I've ever been to. Like the energy was amazing. But I love so that's quite kind of jump up and down and singing super loud. But I always call them Bon Iver, but it's supposed to be Bon Iver, I think. But it sounds so pretentious saying that. That's something I can just like that, and Ben Howard and stuff like that. Stuff you can just stick on. I don't get bored of it. You can just have it playing.
I love
that. If you were like, do you want to listen to some Tupac and Biggie? I'd be like, yep.
Come on.
So,
but that's it, isn't it? It's
good
sort
man,
of like the music range. Like I just feel like one day I could be listening to like, God, I could be like you say, I could be listening to Jimmy. The next time I could be listening to like Aha. Music's great, and it's so funny. Like it's great hearing Foo Fighters. I was really lucky to see them from side stage because I film on the side. I film with the script, so I'm their videographer on tour.
Oh no way!
And we were out at Pink Pop in Holland, in the Netherlands, and so the scripts played earlier in the day, and Foo Fighters are headlining. So there's me and Danny Donahue just on the side stage. We're filming it, and we're turning on ourselves like, we can't believe this. We're watching Dave do his thing. But it's as cool as it is, like being side stage and all that cool stuff. Because at festivals, you'll be with a band, you'll go film it, and then you get to watch it. But nothing beats being in the crowd, hearing it properly when those speakers hit you. I had another friend who's a drummer. He was touring with 1975. And he was their drum tech, and he met Dave Grohl, had a long conversation, spoke about drums, a really meaningful conversation. Dave, can I get a photo? Of course. He said, yeah, man, of course. Went to take the photo. He took it.
Yeah.
The battery ran out. A photo never saved. But he's got that Dave Grohl story. And he said that Dave Grohl story for him was better. I don't know how, but he said that was better than. So Tom Word, if you're watching, mate, I think you should have got the photo, mate. I would have taken that more. But Ben, last
I've got. I don't know if I've got time, but I met Paul.
Yeah, please do. This is all on your time.
A few years ago. But we didn't get a photo, but it's quite a good story. So I was working at Lord's because I used to work for the International Cricket Council before I did TV presenting and stuff. And it was during the Olympics, and I'd seen him on St John's Wood High Street like a few weeks before, and I was with a guy I work with, and I was like, it's Paul McCartney. I'm going to go and say hi. And he was like, mate, don't do that. Why would you do that? I was like, Paul McCartney, I just want to say like hi. And he goes, it'd be really embarrassing, don't. So I didn't, and then really regretted it. So I've left Lord's. It was during the Olympics, so they had the archery on. So we had to go out of a different gate. So I walked around the whole ground, and we're going up to St John's Wood Tube. I'm walking up, and then loads of cars start like beeping, and there's a bit of commotion in front of me. I think I had my headphones in. I was like, I was Paul McCartney. I was walking in the same direction, and I was walking quicker than him. So I took a few paces past, and then thought, I'm going to say something. So I turned around, and he put his hand out, and he was like, hey, because he knew what was happening. It must happen to him all the time. I was like, hi. I said, I'm really sorry. I saw you the other week on the high street and absolutely bottled it. But I just wanted to tell you that when I was a kid, we used to listen to Band on the Run all the time. I loved it so much. And Foo Fighters covered it as well.
Of course they did, yeah. Amazing version.
So I was like, I just wanted to let you know. And he was like, are you serious? And I was like, yep. And he said, oh, thanks so much. Like, thank you for the compliment. I said, no problem. So I turned to go and he goes, I remember it so clearly. He went, hey, he put his hand up. He either said wait or hey, but I remember he put his right hand out. I'm looking there and he put, hey. I was like, so I turned around, and at that point I'm like, oh my God, I'm talking to him. So my heart rate was like, brr, and he literally asked me a question. Like he was interested. He was like, what have you been doing today? So I said,
oh God,
I work here. So we got chatting about cricket and the Olympics, and I said something like, oh, we've done really well today. And he was with his wife, partner, and said, she said, don't tell us, we're going to go home and watch the highlights. And we had a really nice chat. And then I was going straight on, and he was turning, and he said again, he was like, thanks so much for the time and for stopping, and thanks for the compliment. And I just thought he must have had that thousands of times. So that was pretty cool.
A wholesome dude. It's funny.
I did not get a photo with him. So
yeah, but that's classy. I think it's hard because I feel so grateful to meet, for what we do, myself and Dre, and you want a different, because in the professional environment you don't want to come across as a fan, you want to be the professional. So you kind of will hope that your crew that you're working with might get a candid shot of you chatting to the person or briefing.
And that's you always need that. Yeah.
But like, I don't know if you got a story. I don't know if you got a story like that, Dre. Just as a bonus round question, because it's funny you said the Paul McCartney thing, because I remember I was filming at a music studio around the corner from Sony Music, off High Street, Kensington, and went down a little side street. It's going towards the studio to work with a great artist called Aura, who sings Panic Room, banging tune, of course. And on a corner of the cafe, couldn't believe it. It's just John Cena sat there on the corner, not being bothered, obviously waiting for a coffee or something being brought. But it was the most random spot I would have ever thought of seeing anyone. I was like, I was walking, I saw it, I went, oh my God. So I just walked past, went, John Cena, you're a legend, mate, and walked on. I was like, that's it.
Yeah. What did he say?
He just like, I don't know. I don't even know what he said. He just put his hand out. All I remember was having this big hand shake mine. And I was like, this is childhood. No, I grew up watching Rock and Austin, but still you can respect what, Cena's done in the wrestling world. And I was just like, what are you doing here? This is London. You got one of those, Dre? You got one of those moments?
We get to, luckily through the magazine we get to meet like a few people, and we've met Beyonce, we've interviewed Terry Crews as well, and I even got him to do his trick. He got to do it. Yeah. I tried, and it's just completely opposite.
I'm borrowing my mum and dad's laptop because I'm at theirs. And someone just rang on the phone, and it rang here. So I'm really sorry if the phone.
No, it's all good.
Don't worry, these things. We've had interviews where my child has just run inside, and I've had to have one there. So that's the best ones.
Terry Crews.
Yeah, he did that. Yeah, when he was doing.
Can you do that?
No, I think mine doesn't move. But they're there. We've met loads of Jay-Z. We've met loads of different people.
You know what? If I just say, like, Ben, Ben, Dre, I've known you for a while now. You haven't told me half of these stories, so
yeah.
That's very
right. The Beyonce one, just really, really immediately, quickly, like that was one of the embarrassing ones. This is years ago. We was basically doing some work with them when I used to work for the label, and this is when she was in Destiny's Child, and she came around the corner in this club that we was all in, and we was in this section, and job just to mill around and network. And then, literally I was just speaking to her for a bit, and she said, I told her I really loved the album and compared it to, Mary J. Blige, what's 4-1 and all that type of stuff. And she was like, she gave me a massive hug. And then, but there's that rule where you're supposed to kind of just let go after 0.5 seconds. I think I hung on a bit too long. So it was a bit of an awkward, oh God, let go. But it's Beyonce. So I did the pat and got out of it as well. But the only time I've actually been nervous is when I met Steven Gerrard at your ground, when he was presenting for BT Sport, and then we got to sit and watch the game together. And I was like, oh my God, I'm sitting with Steven Gerrard watching football. And Frank Lampard was there as well. It was just it was surreal. But that's the only time I've actually been nervous. Everyone else, I'm done.
Did you tell him that you're a massive Liverpool fan?
I told him I love him.
He got down on one knee and just proposed without a ring.
I think I said that before I even said hi.
Did he sound? Was he all right?
Nah, he's a brilliant guy, but he's very straight and direct. Yeah. And I asked him a question what's it like? The transition between player to being a pundit. I said, how do you think you're doing? And he said, he was went to ask. He goes, actually, what am I asking? Well, how do you think I'm doing? He goes, here, sit here. And I was like, oh my God, I didn't expect any questions to come back to me. Yeah. But no, he was really, really cool. Steven Gerrard is elite to me, and I was very grateful for that opportunity. But I'm trying to keep my Liverpool talk down to a minimum at the moment until next season.
In hiding. Ben, last one from us on this little roundup is: do you have a favorite social media account or personality that you follow that you enjoy, that entertains you, or just something you think is really wholesome and we should check it out?
Oh yeah, that's a good one. I quite enjoy Jonathan Pye for his political satire.
Yeah.
So that's kind of funny. I like accounts that are self-deprecating. I'm not into social media accounts that are too PR. Do you know what I mean? In terms of either look at me and look what I'm doing, or I don't have time for that stuff too much. So I really like the way someone like Ryan Reynolds would do social media. Do you know what I mean? I love
that. Love him.
It's just the tone of it's great. He's aware of his audience and the kind of content that he's putting out, and he's often promoting things, but he does it while taking the mickey out of himself, and I think that's pretty cool.
The happy birthday to his wife, and it literally has only got half of her body in it. It's just him. Classic. I've always wanted to do something like that. That's brilliant, honestly.
Yeah.
That is the way.
And I've followed I don't know how to say his surname. The guy who plays Raymond Holt in Brooklyn Nine-Nine. His name's Andre Brower, is it?
Brower. Yeah, that's a tricky one, isn't it? I'm scared to I forbid when you kind of get those guests where you go how do you say their surname? You don't want to mess it up, and it's one of those, isn't it?
But he's funny because some of his tweets and stuff, it's like he's being Raymond Holt from Brooklyn Nine-Nine. So he'll just be like, I'm the happiest that I've ever been, and it's just of him, his face, just looking
just
so
deadpan. I love that. But that's a great thing, isn't it? It's almost like his character and his personality are extensions of each other, which is absolutely amazing. But look, Ben, we don't want to hold you up any longer. We've been so grateful for your time chatting to us, chatting sport, music, the Draw Together Challenge, lots of great stuff happening. Final thing from you, where can we find you on the socials? And again, call to action, where can we get more info on the Draw Together Challenge?
So the Draw Together Challenge, you just need to head to the Premier League website, and kind of all of the details are on there. There's some stuff on social media as well, but probably the Premier League website is the best place for that. And Twitter and Instagram, it's just my name, so it's Ben_Cajee. So yeah, that's that.
Nice and easy, nicely rounded up there. So yeah, appreciate your time. Thank you so much to yourself, Premier League. And yeah, this is the Alternative Sports Show. I'm Matthew Connell. That's Andre Dixon, Ben Cajee. Thank you very much.
Thanks for having me.